Okay, today we are going to focus on the Moysian fit. The Moysian fit is when you have a 4-3 trump suit. Normally, when you play in a suit contract, you have at least 8 trumps between the two hands, breaking either 4-4, 5-3, 6-2, and maybe occasionally 7-1. You may even have more than 8. You may have the 5-4 fit. You may have the 5-5 fit. And that's wonderful. The more trumps you have, the easier it's going to be for you to make your contract. Occasionally, though, you find yourself in a 5-2 fit, which is not bad. But unfortunately, sometimes you find yourself in the 4-3 fit. This is the Moysian fit. You have 4 trumps in one hand and 3 in the other. Most players, most declarers do not relish playing the Moysian fit. I think if you've encountered any in your play here over the last few months, you probably feel that you don't particularly like them either. They are very difficult. They are very tenuous. They are very difficult in that it's easy to lose control as you are trying to play the hand. The main problem is you have 6 trumps outstanding. Between your hand and the dummy, you have 7. So there are 6 outstanding trumps. Almost 2/3 of the time, 64% of the time, those 6 trumps are going to break 4-2. One of the opponents is going to have 4 of them. They're going to have the same number that you have. And this is what causes you your main problem. This is your nemesis. About 16% of the time, you get the 5-1 break. So you don't get too upset with that. And I am here to tell you that the 6-0 break does happen. Last week in Princeton, old Carol is sitting there. I am in 1 heart. I have 4 hearts to the jack in my hand, and I have 3 to the king on the board. And the lady to my left has all 6 of them to the ace, queen, 10, 9, 8. Well, you get the picture. Wasn't very pretty. At the end of today's lesson, you can ask me if I made the hand or not. My point here is you don't worry if you get the 6-0 break. I don't think in all the 50 years I've been playing, I think this is the only time I have ever gotten the 6-0 break. But it happens. It must be very rare. Must be about 1%. I don't know. But anyway, it does happen. You don't worry about that. You really don't fret over the 5-1 break. You just try to make as many tricks as you can. What you do have to be concerned is the 4-2 break, because 64, roughly 2/3 of the time, 2 out of every 3 hands that you play, Moysian fit, you are going to get the 4-2 fit. So the focus of today's lesson is how can you give yourself the best opportunity to make this type of hand? Because you face it, the 4-2 fit, so often, this is where we need to put our focus. Again, not worrying about the 5-1 break, and certainly if you get the 6-0 break, you don't worry about it. Okay, so let's move on down. See, where is my where is the lesson?
It should be on the other side of, there should be a slugger on the other side of people's faces.
Okay, here it comes. Okay, so just basically what I've said is people don't enjoy the playing the 4-3, and it's because of the break, the 4-2 break. And you say to yourself, the whole objective in this hand is the defenders, and from the bidding, they should recognize that you're on a 4-3 fit. And of course, what they're going to want to do is to make a very forcing type lead. You remember back in January when you thought where either you had length in the trump suit or you thought perhaps your partner had length in the trump suit, you made the forcing lead. Forcing lead is leading a long suit in your hand. You're trying to force the declarer to trump in her hand. Of course, you know she doesn't have a 4 trumps, so you're hoping that you can get her to ruff early and she will lose control of the hand. On the other side of the table, the declarer is going to try to refrain as long as she possibly can from ruffing in the hand that has 4 trumps, because she knows once she does, she's down, 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 and she's going to go set in the hand. She's going to lose control of the hand. So it's a constant battle between the defense and between the declarer. Defense trying to make the declarer rough, declarer trying to ward off trumping until a strategic time in the hand. So just how do you end up in a Moysian fit? Well, there are at least a couple of ways, a couple of main ways. One way is your partner's opened and you have at least 12 or 13 points, and you know that you need to be in game. You have the points for game. But through the bidding, you figure out that you have one suit that is unstopped. So 3-no trump is not a contract that you want to be in when you realize that you have one suit unstopped. Maybe you don't have the necessary high cards to be in 5 of a minor. So your best game and only game is perhaps the 4-3 heart contract or the 4-3 spade contract, 4 hearts or 4 spades on a 4-3 fit. So that's one of the basic ways main ways that you get into a Moysian fit, into a game, is when you have the points for game, you cannot play in no trump because one suit is totally unstopped, and you don't want to be in 5 of a minor because maybe you don't have the power, you don't have enough high card strength in the minor suits to be in 5 of the minor. So enters the 4-3 fit. Okay, I want to look at this first hand. See if I can get the hand. Now, in this particular hand, you end up in 4 hearts. I have not provided the bidding here. I do know, though, I have laid it out, and I think that 3-no trump won't make on this hand. I think that perhaps maybe the 5-2 spade fit might have been better, but for some reason they ended up in 4 hearts on the 4-3 fit. I don't have the bidding. This is just mostly for illustration purposes. But anyway, you're going to always use the hand that has 4 trumps is going to be the master hand. And when you look at the hand, you look at spades, you don't have any spade losers. You have most of the big hearts. Somebody's got, if West has 4 to the jack, then you are going to lose a heart trick. So I think you have to go ahead in your initial, remember your basic, looking at the hand, counting your losers. I think you have to sort of pencil in that you might have a heart loser. As far as diamond losers, you have at least 3. The ace is going to take care of one of them. And then when you come down to the clubs, you have at least 2 club losers, but you're going to be able to rough them in the dummy. So I think you see that. So that second step, after the bidding and the opening lead, you're studying your hand, you're counting your losers and ways that you get rid of them. I think you can already see that you're going to try to trump losing clubs in the dummy because the dummy is your shorthand. In a Moysian fit, it's always okay. You actually want to try to trump losers from your hand into the shorthand and not the other way around. And you see you've got 3 diamonds you've got to do something with, and you may have a heart loser, but you may not, you don't know. Okay, I want to go through at least twice the play of this hand. West leads the king of clubs. So you take it with your ace. So you have 1 trick. At trick 2, you lead a small club, the 3, and you trump it with the 4 of hearts sitting over there in the dummy. You have 2 tricks. You come back to your hand with the king of spades, 3 tricks. And now you lead your other club and you rough it with the 5 of hearts. You have 4 tricks at this point. The only heart residing in the dummy now is the king. Play it. Takes out 2 of theirs. You now have 5 tricks. You play your ace of spades, you have 6 tricks. And now you lead the jack of spades. Okay, we need to stop right there. When the first spade is led, when the 3 of spades is led off the board to your king, both East and West need to give count. They're defenders, they need to give each other count. So East has a doubleton, she would play the 4. Also, West has an even number, he would play the 6. He doesn't want to play the 10, so he plays the 7. When you play the ace of spades, now East finishes the echo by playing the 2. She shows that she has a doubleton. West plays the 6, showing that he has an even number. East should know right away that her partner has both the outstanding spades. Because if South had a third spade, why are they not in 4 spades on a 5-3 fit? So East, if she's paying any attention at all, when she sees the 7 and the 6 falling out of her West hand, her partner's hand, she knows she does not need to trump. She doesn't want to trump. She should not trump. She has 4 trumps. She doesn't need to trump because her partner, if she's paying attention, has exactly the queen and the 10 of spades left. So I would say she'd probably just throw a club. She certainly isn't going to throw a diamond. So she's going, because she's got that king of diamonds behind the aces sitting there on the board. So she should just throw a club. But let's say that she does trump. If East trumps, she should not, but if she does, you over trump anything she plays. If she plays the jack, you play the queen. If she plays the 9 or the 8, you play the 10. If she does not trump, then you trump with your 6 of hearts. And now you play your ace and your queen of hearts. That's your 8th and your 9th trick. And now you go over to your ace of diamonds, and there are your 10 tricks. 4 hearts bid and made. That's the only way you can play this hand. Okay, let's go through it again. When he leads the king of clubs, you take the ace in your hand. Small club, rough small in the dummy. Come to your hand with the king of spades, rough your other club with small in the dummy. Cash your control. The controls are your ace, king of hearts. Cash your big king of hearts, taking out 2 of their trumps. Cash your ace of spades, hoping nobody trumps, but they didn't. So that's your 6th trick. Now lead the jack of spades. East is faced with the dilemma of roughing or not. She should not rough. I think you see that. If you were East, you should not rough because you should know that your partner has the queen, 10 of spades left. So you don't rough. So when she doesn't rough, you rough with your 6th. That is going to be your 7th trick. If she does rough, you over rough anything she plays. Any card, the jack, the 9, or the 8, you over rough. That's your 7th trick. And then if she's roughed with the jack, you take it with your queen. Now you cash your ace and your 10. That's your 8th and 9th trick. And you go over to the ace of diamonds, and that's your 10th trick. So that you have used what we call the control trick taking strategy. Whenever you're in game, and I'm going to go over this again in a minute, you want to play what we call the control trick taking. When you have the controls are your ace of hearts and your king of hearts. You take them at a strategic point so that you maintain control of the hand. And I don't know what I did. Okay, another way that you can end up in a Moysian fit is when your partner raises you with only 3 card support, but he must have a singleton in his hand when he does so. So let's look at the bidding on this hand. North opens the hand with 1 diamond. You see, part of it's covered up, but she opens with 1 diamond. So she has 13 high card points. We're looking at the North hand. She is the opening bidder. She bids 1 diamond. Pass, East passes, and we come down to South hand. South has 12 high card points. South knows that this is more than likely going to be in game somewhere. Her partner's opened and she's got 12 high card points. You're pretty much assured that you're going to be in game somewhere. So she begins by bidding 1 heart, showing at least 6 points and at least 4 hearts. West is going to pass, and now North comes back and bids 2 clubs. Now at this point, you don't know if she's got 5 diamonds and 4 clubs, but you know she's at least got 4-4 in the minors, but you don't know for sure. South comes back, and because her partner didn't bid 2 hearts, she knows she doesn't have 4 hearts. She has 12 points. Her best bid at this point is to rebid to no trump, showing 11 or 12 points. North is not very happy with that singleton spade sitting up there thinking about a no trump contract, and so now she raises her partner to 3 hearts. Everybody in the room now should know exactly what the North hand looks like. She has patterned out her hand. She's first bid a diamond, she's rebid 2 clubs, she pulls it out of no trump to 3 hearts. If she had had 4 hearts, instead of bidding 2 clubs, she's going to bid 2 hearts. She doesn't have 4 hearts. So the pattern of her hand is 5 diamonds, 4 clubs, 3 hearts, and a single and spade. Everybody at the table should know that's what's coming down on the dummy as soon as the opening lead is made. So West has got to make the opening lead. He does have 4 hearts. They are little ones, but they can cause a lot of problems if the Clara misplays the hand. He knows, West knows immediately that there's going to be a singleton spade coming, more than likely coming down in the hand. But anyway, he wants to go ahead and lead his, I think his best lead is the king of spades. He leads the king of spades and the dummy comes down, and sure enough, exactly the pattern I told you is coming down. The south hand is the master hand. You look at the losers from that side. He's got 2 spade losers, but you see those 2 little spades can be roughed in the dummy. He's got 0 to 1 heart losers. I don't think he probably doesn't have any heart losers, but he doesn't know that. If he gets a 5-1 break, he may have a heart loser. So I think you have to kind of just pencil that in as a possible loser. And then possibly you may have a diamond loser. If the finesse fails, you may have a diamond loser. And then you've got 3 club losers, maybe only 2 if the ace of clubs is sitting over here to your left. Of course, you have the privilege of seeing all 4 hands and playing it double dummy. You see that the club finesse is going to fail. Of course, you don't know that initially. Okay, so you possibly got 6 to 7 losers, and you're sitting here in a 4-heart contract. So let's look at how this particular defender or declarer decided to play this hand. West led the king of spades. You took it in your hand with the ace. Immediately, you lead the 2 of spades and you rough it with the ace. This is an unblocking play. If you rough it small, then you're going to have a problem getting back to your hand because you got the big ace and the jack sitting there. So the key here is to rough high with the ace. You're doing an unblocking. Now you can lead the 2 to get back to your hand with the 10 or the 9, and you rough your other spade. And then you get back to your hand, you pull your trumps, and now king of diamonds, do the diamond finesse, and we all see that the queen is going to take that diamond. It fails, and you go down in the hand. Where did she go wrong? She should make this hand. So let's look at what she did. And I did this on purpose to show you how Carol would play it, because you know I've already told you I do not make Moysian Fit hands. This is the way old Carol would have played it. I would have done exactly what this person did. You take the ace of spades, rough a spade with the ace of hearts to unblock, lead to your heart 9, and you rough your other spade. Come back to your hand and pull the rest of your trumps, and then do your diamond finesse. It fails, and you go down in the hand. So where did she go wrong? Here's where she went wrong. Here's where Carol went wrong. In this particular hand, the loser that you're most concerned with is that queen of diamonds. So take the ace of spades on trick 1. Certainly take the ace of spades. But rather than starting out to try to rough spades in the dummy, that's not going to go away from it. You need right then to locate that key card. That key card is that queen of diamonds. Where is it? At trick 2, lead a small diamond and finesse the jack. If the jack holds, then you're home free. Then you proceed with roughing your 2 spade losers and pulling trumps, and your diamonds are all good because you know now where the queen of diamonds is. So at trick 2, find the card that's going to cause you the problem, and it is the queen of diamonds that's going to cause you the problem. So trick 2, when East gets in with the queen of diamonds, no lead that she makes back can hurt you. If she leads a trump, it doesn't hurt you. If she leads a spade, it doesn't hurt you. If she leads the clubs, which she's not going to lead a club from the ace jack 9, so she's not going to lead that back. Possibly she might lead a diamond back, but that's not any problem. She might lead a trump back, or she may just come on back with a spade. But there's no lead after she gets in with the queen of diamonds at trick 2 that's going to hurt you. And so then you proceed, as before, to ruff your two spade losers and then to run your diamonds and claim your contract. Both example 1 and example 2 that we've just looked at are examples of what we call the controlled playing strategy. This is the strategy that you play when you are in game or having to bid if you're in a slam on a 4-3 fit. Talking about fun, now that is not fun. The controls that we're talking about are the big trumps, the ace of hearts and the king of hearts. And you hold off playing those until a strategic point in the hand. And therefore you keep control of the hand, keep control of the side suit, and you actually make your hands. If you play it as I first showed you, I put that in on purpose to show you how you could misplay that hand and you go down. You put all your eggs in where that diamond was. And when it failed, you went down on the hand. You lost control of the hand. Now, the second way of strategy of playing is when you're only in a part score. Again, I apologize, that part of the screen is blocking. It's called the scrambled trick-taking strategy. And this is used when you are in a part score. Basically, you want to refrain from trying to draw trumps. You don't have the big trump controls normally, and you have to refrain from drawing trumps at all. And you want to just try to identify all of your winners and try to cash as many of them as you can. At all costs, try to refrain from trumping in the long suit. So in this particular hand, North is the declarer. She's in a contract of 2 hearts. So she's in a part score. She counts her losers. She's got anywhere from 3 to 4 spade losers. If the ace of spades is on side for her, she won't have but maybe 3 losers and maybe 1 she can ditch on the clubs. You notice the club suit, it's solid, wonderful club suit. You have all those wonderful winners. You have no losers in the club suit. North does have a diamond loser. The ace will take care of one of her losers. And then she has to lose the ace, king of hearts. Hopefully those are the only 2 heart losers she has to lose. Spades are a problem. She has a lot of losers in the spade suit. She doesn't know she's going to be fortunate, though, that the ace of spades is on side for her. Thank goodness for a few things. The only good thing about this hand is you stayed out of no trump. So you are in the 4-3, 2 heart. So the opening lead is the 6 of diamonds. The East is making the opening lead. Now, certainly, when you look at East's hand, you don't want to lead away from the ace, queen, jack, 10 of spades. Maybe at no trump, but this is 2 hearts. So you're certainly not going to just plunk down your ace of spades. You certainly would not lead the queen in a suit contract. So if you're going to lead it at all, you need to lead the ace. You have 4 trumps to the ace. So a possibility would be leading the ace and another trump. That's a possibility, but maybe not the best one. Clubs, you're looking at the king, jack sitting over there in the dummy. I mean, you're sitting, excuse me, you're looking, the dummy is south. You're looking at the ace, queen, 9. You certainly don't want to be leading the club suit. So your best bet is to lead a diamond. She chooses to lead the 6 of diamonds. So when she does so, North plays the ace of diamonds. And she decides that the best play for her to make at this point is just to lead a diamond back. And a lot of times, just throw them back in. Make them lead to you. Remember, we had that in one of the lessons. A lot of times, if you can make them lead, it's to your advantage. So not wanting to, certainly not, you don't have the big trumps, so you don't ever pull trumps or lead a trump when you don't have the big controls. You do not have the controls in the heart suit. You certainly don't want to lead away from your king of spades. So you've taken the ace of diamonds, just lead a diamond back. West is going to take it with his jack. And now his best bet, the forcing lead, is to come on with another diamond. What he wants to do is to force you, everybody now knows you have only 4 trumps. He wants to force you to trump in the North hand. North's best bet is no, do not trump. Throw one of those losing spades. You have all those spades up there you've got to lose. Throw one of them. Do not trump in the North hand, the hand that has the 4 trumps. Now, if West chooses to come on with another diamond, that is great for you. You throw another spade. East will either have to trump with the ace, or if she trumps small, your 10 will take either the 2, the 4, or the 5 if she trumps one of those. So if West chooses to lead the spade, that's great for you because then that gives you your king. So when the dust settles on this hand, because you refrained from trumping in the master hand on that third diamond, you threw a loser on a loser. You made it so that if he continued, you could ruff in the short hand, the south hand. You actually make this hand. All they get is their ace of spades. They get their two diamond tricks and they get the ace king of hearts. And you have scrambled around and made this contract. The part scores, you use the scrambled trick taking. You try to refrain. Do not try trump in the long suit. Just wait, loser on loser, until the short suit can take over ruffing at the strategic time. You don't ever draw trumps because of the fact that you don't have the master, you don't have the controls. All right, I want to continue now looking at one more hand before we do something else today. This hand, again, you're going to be in a Moysian suit. You're going to be in 4 spades on this hand. And I want to look at the bidding first of all. North is the opener. She has 13 points. She's going to open 1 club with this hand. Passed by East, you have 12 points. You're South, you have 12 points, and you know then that this thing is going to go in game somewhere. So you begin by bidding 1 spade. Of course, all you're promising is 4 spades and at least 6 points. West doesn't bid. She likes the spades, so she's going to keep her mouth shut. And North rebids 2 clubs, so she's more than likely showing 6 clubs. South comes back to her hand with her 12 points, and so she now at this point bids 2 no trump, showing 11 or 12 points. North is not happy with the no trump because she's got that singleton diamond. She's fearful of that, so she bids 3 spades. She is now showing that she has 3 spades. South decides to put it in 4 spades, so that's how she got there, to a 4 spade on a 4-3 fit. You can't be in no trump because of the problem of the diamonds not being stopped. Everybody at the table should know that North has only 3 spades. If she had had 4 spades, instead of bidding 2 clubs, she's going to bid 2 spades, showing 4. But that's not the case. So everybody has to know she's pulled it out of no trump. She's probably got 6 clubs, but she has only 3 spades. So the opening lead is the ace of diamonds. Now look at your trump suit. You do have 2 of the big controls, but outside of that, it's kind of pitiful, isn't it? You don't have any heart losers. You have the ace, king, queen of hearts. You do have 2 diamond losers. And now I'm looking at South as the master hand. And you should not have any club losers unless they ruff. Unless one of them, shorten the club suit. Okay, so the ace of diamonds is lit, and as soon as the dummy hits the table, West sees that singleton diamond. So what's he going to do? He more than likely, as at this point, is going to kill him, but he needs to lead a spade. When he leads a spade, and he's not really giving up anything, he's going to get his queen 10 of spades. He leads the 6 of spades. Now you, as the declarer, which one do you play? You play your ace. You want that ace as a control, you take out 2 of their trumps. You want to use your 5 and your 2 to trump your losing diamonds. So you should play the ace of spades when he shifts, at trick 2, when he shifts to the 6 of spades, you play your ace. You come to your hand with either the king or the queen of hearts. Doesn't matter. I would take it with the king. You want to keep them guessing. You take it with the queen, and the king doesn't show up here in the West, then East is going to know for certain that his partner, that you have the king queen. So you always want to keep them guessing. You play the king of hearts, East may think that his partner might have the queen of hearts. So you come to your hand with the king of hearts, and you ruff a small diamond with either the 2 or the 5. You come back to your hand now with the queen of hearts, and you ruff your other diamond. And then you lead a spade to your king. At this point, 8 trumps have been played. and 2 in the dummy. There are two still outstanding trumps. At this point, you do not know if one of the opponents has both of them or if they're going to split. If you make the mistake of playing a third round of spades and they don't break, now when you start to run your club suit, they're going to trump in and then they're going to cash all of their other winners in that diamond suit, and you're going to go down. So what you do is you come back to your hand and play the king of spades. Do not draw any more trumps, just leave them out. Start running your clubs. Ace of clubs, king of clubs, one of them's going to trump in. If he's the one that has both trumps, fine. He can trump in, he's used one of them, and he can lead another trump. That's okay, you'll win it. But look at you, you're sitting here with your 4th trump still sitting there. And so now you have a trump control, you trump, and you either if you don't have another club to get back over there, you still have that wonderful ace of hearts sitting over there that you can get there, and you can continue leading your spades, dumping all your losers and making your hand. So the key on this hand is you don't have really a robust spade suit, but you do have the long club suit, and you want to start running it as soon as you can. Another key to this hand is roughing with the ace of spades, because you want to use the 5 and that ace is going to pull 2 of theirs. The 5 and the 2, their best use is to rough your small diamonds. So that's the way that you make that hand. So in conclusion on these Moysian fits, I want to just stop right now and kind of go through a general review. Basically, if you're in game, you want to use the control strategy. The controls are your ace and king of your trump suit. You want to use them at a strategic time to keep control of the hand. You always want to try to maintain enough trumps in the master hand so that you're in control. So therefore, you try to refrain from roughing early in the hand. One strategy is to pitch a loser on a loser to keep from trumping in the master hand so that the dummy can take over and do the roughing after that. And if you don't have first and second round of control of trumps, you do not lead them. So I want to finish up here by looking at one final example, example 5. See if I can get all of that. Part of the bidding is, but I'll give that to you. So the open, North has 12 points and she opens 1 diamond. East passes. You have 14 points. So you know this hand is going to game. You don't know where yet, but it's going to game. So you start off by bidding your 1 spade, showing at least 6 points and 4 spades. Now West bops in there with a 3-heart bid, and I would bid 3 hearts with his hand, and you would too. So now North just has to pass, because she doesn't know the size of your hand. You know the size of your hand. She does not. All she knows about your hand is that you got 6 points and 4 spades. So it goes pass, pass, North passes, pass, and you come back in with a double. I'm sorry you can't see that double, but you come back in with a double because you've got 14 points and your partner's opened. You got to be in game somewhere. So, of course, West is going to now pass. If North had a stopper in hearts, then she should bid 3 no trump. She does not have it, so about the only bid she can make now is 3 spades. Everybody at the table should know she has only 3 spades, because over well, she didn't really have a chance, but when that 3-heart bid was put in, so let's retract on that. But when she's forced by the double, she can't bid 3 no trump. She does have 3 spades. She bids 3 spades, and you with your 14 points take it on to game 4 spades. So you are in the 4-3 Moysian fit hand. You get the ace of hearts lead. West is savvy. West knows right away that there's going to be a 4-3 fit in the trump suit. So she wants to do the forcing lead. She leads the ace of hearts, the king of hearts, and she now plays a 3rd heart. If you rough in the south hand, then you get yourself down to 3 trumps. So you should not rough in that hand. You should not rough, but you should throw a loser. Now in your losers in this hand, you do have 2 club losers. One of them you may be able to rough, but you still have a club loser. So instead of roughing with the king, the queen, the jack, or the 9 of spades, throw your losing club, a loser on a loser. When she leads that 3rd heart, you have to follow to the ace king of hearts. When she leads the 3rd one, do not rough. Rather, throw your losing club. You have to lose it anyway, so you throw it. Notice that even if you get all the trumps out and you run the diamonds, you still going to have 1 club loser. You can get rid of one of them on that 5th diamond, but you still got a club loser. So throw it right now. Don't rough in your hand. Should she continue with hearts, now you can rough in the dummy and pitch a club out of your hand. So the key on this hand is do not rough in the long suit. Do not rough in yourself with the 4 trumps. Just throw the losing club. You have to lose it anyway. Give it to him right then, and then you're going to make this hand. If you rough the club, rough the heart when she leads it, I think if you lay this hand out later, you're going to find that you're not going to make this hand. And I would say that about all the 5 hands that we've looked at today. Take them, lay them out, and follow through with the information that's given in the analysis of the hand, and see what happens to you if you rough in that long hand, the hand that has 4 trumps. More than likely, you are going to go down in the hand. Okay, next week, I want you to work on this assignment. You're north and you're in the contract of 4 hearts. You're in the 4-3 fit, and you get the ace of clubs lead. So north is in 4 hearts, and she is going to get the ace of clubs lead. I want you to figure out how you're going to play this. You're playing this afternoon, and this hand comes down, and you're the declarer. So you tell me how you're going to play it, and we'll look at it next week. But I'd like for you to study it first. In conclusion, on these Moysian fits, they are very delicate contracts. I think the reason why I don't play them very well is I panic, and I don't think about it, and I make the mistake of trumping in that long hand, and it always is to my detriment. So when you are in game or slam, try playing the controlled strategy. If you are in part score, the scramble strategy, where you're just trying to take as many winners as you can. And I think what we have covered here today, you may not be an expert at it yet, but I think that you will be a lot better in playing this type of hand when you encounter them in the future. Next week, we're going to look at the in play. I think you're going to enjoy this lesson. I don't know if you recall when we're doing the basics, when we're talking about the basics of declare play, after the bidding and the opening lead and the dummy comes down, you study the hand and you count your losers and you think about ways that you can eliminate these losers. And we looked at 3 basic ways. We looked at the pitching on a long suit. We looked at the roughing in the dummy. And we looked at the finesse. And I told you at that point, there were several other ways that you can get rid of losers. And one of the basic ones is the in play, and that we will be covering in a subsequent lesson. So next week is the subsequent lesson. It's going to be on the in play. The in play, you throw them in at a strategic point in the hand, and you force them to lead something that will give you a trick. Perhaps you've stripped all the suits, and when you throw them in with the cards you're going to throw them in with, they either have to give you a rough slough, which allows you to get rid of a loser that you couldn't eat, or they have to lead away, say, from a king, allowing you to make your queen that you were not going to make. So the in play is a really neat way if certain factors are present in the hand, and we'll look at those so you'll know when to identify that an in play is possible for you, that this is one of your ways of getting rid of a loser. So I think you're really going to enjoy next week's lesson. So I want to conclude by wishing you good luck and all the Moysian hands that you play this week. So thank you so very much.